sympathize all the lies we raise, and please realize all the time. Family energy, drank a couple quarters on my chorus, then I code up. If I rule the world, money stacks for all my daughters. Never ask for payment in the womb ×9. Now we see the blood on the street ×try. Feminine energy, balance up the indestructible in the vaginal. Heaven in thine, heaven is mine. Spiritual, lyrical, mother sang sweetest taboo, rickle kind. If I was astonished by the level of shame, feminine energy reign. Intuition and ambition, intuition shine. Intuition and ambition running through my veins. Pour out the love, let the healing begin. The birds and the bees ain't got nothing. The birds and the bees ain't got nothing. Energy.
Fambo, I beg you listen me. I beg you open your ears for any waiting that they say. Waiting that they talk. Now serious talk at they talk go. No beating anga speaking. Listen. In this world we deal. Member say ya. One day go come. When we all go. Before long. We go meet Mama Godo. When we dey meet Mama Godo, tell me, waiting, you go say.
With my life jam nation, you realize all the time we wasting. You realize all the pain we facing. Please pour a cup feminine libation. My gosh, we raising. Please sympathize all the lies we raising. Please realize all the time. Female energy, 1 shot, 2 shot, 3 times sorrow. Carry all the weight of the world on your shoulders. Give a couple crowns to the woman who had bore us. Told us, focus, love and support us.
The roots from my Nazi locks. I am the fertile ground, and I am heaven's skies. I'm made of dark matter and full of pure light. I'm just a tiny proton inside the smallest atom. I am a black hole pulling stars inside my chasm. You think you know me, but my name eludes you well. I am your consciousness, and I'm your dream spell. I am but all things, yet I am none at all. Enemies fear me, but mostly they just respect and awe.
Something, as we say, I'm compelled by a spiritual force that I cannot resist.
Besides Niyashe can't keep fast by the Shay. Which means a spiritual force that I cannot resist.
I am the earth and water. I am the full moon. I am the first mother, the universal womb. They call me sacred lotus, wisdom of the kind supreme. The mothership that brought the first terrestrial being. I come from distant planets, and now I have returned. I am the great goddess come to you in human form. Mysterious by nature, I hold my magic wand. Cast my cowrie shells and weave them in the dirt I stand on. My power is electric, you feel it in my gaze. I will live on when others perish in the end of days. They call it immortal, I move through space portals. My body turns to dust, I traded for a better model. I am the shrine keeper, civilization teacher. I am the sun's reflection and the divine receiver. I birthed the last giants, now called the juggernauts. When I designed the trees, I made the roots from my Nazi locks. I am the fertile ground, and I am heaven's skies. I'm made of dark matter and full of pure light. I'm just a tiny proton inside the smallest atom. I am a
black hole,
pulling stars inside my chasm. You think you know me, but my name eludes you well. I am your consciousness, and I'm your dream spell. I am but all things, yet I am none at all. Enemies fear me, but mostly they just respect it all.
They always thought Africa was something dark and mysterious because of lack of knowledge. If you want to go to Africa, go back to Africa. You know, all those kind of negative things that try to make you really feel bad, but, you know, it just shows their own ignorance. Because I feel good about my Africanism.
Hey, it's your mom. Give me that call back. Love you.
Learn to cloud surf while never leaving Earth. 10 toes firmly planted in the dirt for what it's worth. See my life flash before my eyes a couple times. So I'd be lying if I said I don't believe in the divine. For reasons we can't find, the truth will probably blow our minds. This energy in the universe send chills down your spine. Had a talk with a goddess about human design. Pull my coat to how I need to get my chakras aligned. Gotta break some bad habits, it's addition by subtraction. Move away from bad actors, trying to leech off your action. It's the laws of attraction, gotta see it before it happens. Gotta believe it with a passion, then receive this beautiful madness. Find a pattern in the chaos, their assessment was way off. You build it from the ground up, you own it, so ain't no layoffs. Your energy is equity, cashing on your day off. Hope to reach a couple souls, it's all a part of the payoff. Learn to cloud surf while never leaving Earth. 10 toes firmly planted in the dirt for what it's worth. See my life flash before my eyes a couple times. So I'd be lying if I said I don't believe. We can't find the truth, I'm probably.
I am intentional, I am the sun, I am original. I am intentional, I am the sun, I am original, I am the one. I am intentional, I am the sun, I am original, I am the one.
Hey, it's your mom. Give me that call back.
I am intentional, I am the sun, I am original, I am the one. I am intentional, I am the sun, I am original, I am the one.
I could see it, I could Let's create a universe where the rings of Saturn. I'm the sun, you the moon, and the light reflects. Complementing each other, that makes us just. Energy shared between us is so phenomenal. Astrological thinking on the same thought pattern. Let's create a universe where the rings of Saturn. Our love goes deeper than the meanings, feelings, healings. Coasting on the wings of my eye. You're the air that I breathe. Goddess of my dreams. Put you on a pedestal, place the one above you. Got you going in circles, showing my love Jones. Putting me in a zone, making this house a home. A long way to take for you to realize. Open up your third eye. Enoch is just God in the physical. Queen, I'm just a man. I need you to understand that I'm God in the physical. I'm the sun, you the moon, and the light reflects.
Hey. All right, we're going to get this together tonight. I promise y'all. This is what happens when you do not have your producer with you. Yes. I'm just doing things backstage, but I'll be here soon. You guys, you'll see me. Hold on. There I am. Peace and blessings, Starcy. Shout out to Enoch 7 Prophet. Y'all see, he makes the world go around over here because when he not here, boy, I tell you, I'll be having all kinds of issues. So shout out to him on the road. Coming from Chicago. Shout out to all of y'all in the building tonight. Thank you for being here. Hey, Marilyn. Hey, Mon, Amy. Hello. Peace and blessings, Starseed. She says she's seeing 222 means your life purpose is to express your divine love and light in the world. Absolutely. And 222 is also 22 is 4. And that's who is up in this building right now. Okay. Yes, thank you all, Starseeds, for being here. Yes, thank you. Thank you for being here, Mystic. Thank you for being here. It all worked out. Yes. It was doing a lot backstage. I don't even know. I'm over here like, what the hell is going on? Stuff started flickering. But you know why? Because my mom's energy is heavy, okay? And she is in the building. MaWu Lisa's mom's energy is heavy, and she is in the building. Everybody's mom who ain't physically here is probably in the building. So we're going to have some technical issues. But guess what? We're going to get through them. And we are going to play that Sampa energy again at the end of the show because, you know, it got all jacked up at the beginning, started doing some crazy stuff. But that song has a lot to do with feminine energy. And even the Ciroc song, it came on in the middle. Like, it was just remixing tonight. So we're just gonna roll with the flavor, with the punches and everything that's coming in. But I'll tell y'all, thank you all for being here. This is a very special show. I thank you all for tuning in tonight. 2 years ago today, I lost my mother. I was sitting on my bed preparing for the mother show, and my aunt walked in and she looked at me and she said, "She's gone." And I just looked at her, and you know, again, my soul didn't even process what she had said. So I was just like, okay. And my friend at the time was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I'm about to start my show." And he's like, "Did you just hear what she said?" And I was just like, "I gotta keep going. Like, I gotta do this show. I don't even know why she came and told me that right there." Like, everything. And then all of a sudden it hit me. It's like, did she just say like my mom just passed? Like, and I'm trying to do the mother show. And it was just like, it was a lot. So it took me a whole year, y'all. So May 21st, 2022, which was last year, was the first mother show, the return of the great mother. And I finally got the guts up to do the show. My mom pushed me to do that show. And believe me, y'all, if you did not go see it, please go back and see that show. I'm going to recap some things here, but I gave my whole heart and soul to that show, y'all. So go back and watch that, please. I uploaded it later. So, you know, our lives get pretty good views, but you know, when we go back and put stuff up, you guys, you gotta go back and check it out. So make sure you go check that video out because it's a lot of knowledge in there about the mother. We're gonna get into it a little bit, but yes, you're right, Marilyn. There's that 22 again, 2022, and I said that you're right. Them numbers is and 2. You guys know 2 represents the woman, right? The feminine energy is represented by the number 2, right? Yes. Yes, so you know the feminine energy is all up in here. All up. Look at y'all. All the ladies is in the building. They ready to hear something. Y'all is in here tight. I love it. MaWu Lisa's backstage. My sister, I love her because first of all, she already know I be late. But today my stomach was hurting, y'all. I was a little nervous about the show. I'm not gonna lie. This show built this podcast. Okay. So the reason I do this podcast is because the divine feminine energy forced me to. She didn't tell me. She said, you're going to do that shit. And today she told me, you're going to speak on me. You're never going to be silent about me. You're going to always speak up about me. And I don't care if you feel like you know what you're saying, because I'm going to just channel it straight through you. This is how she speaks to me. She is rough with me, y'all. She a little rough with me. Okay. I love her, but she a little rough. Yes, yes. Oh, it's the first day of Gemini. Well, that makes a lot of sense why this communication wants to come through so badly right now, because it does. Like, I was supposed to do it for Mother's Day, right? And it didn't feel right. It just didn't sit right. And I was like, why? And I looked at my mother's, I went and looked at my mother's death certificate, and it was like May 21st. And I was like, oh my goodness. And then I didn't even have to change some of my promos because they said 521 from last year. So I just pulled them out and put them out again. It was like, dang, look at this. Look at how things work out. And so again, I'm gonna bring my sister to the stage, but I just wanted to get y'all ready for this show. This show is so important to me. It is the reason why I do everything I do. And I surrounded myself tonight with goddesses because I want you guys to understand that only in Christianity and these little Western cultures are women not only are we not celebrated here, but like we're not recognized spiritually here. You know, everywhere else they kind of, you go somewhere else, you say I am God, they be like, yeah, I know. And then, but over here we say it, they be like, girl, shut up. Bitch, please. They'll call you anything but God over here. So I just want y'all to know I'm surrounded by goddesses tonight. I have with me. They want to be introduced. I'm sorry. They were talking to me. They said, before you bring MaWu Lisa, you better let them know we here too. So first of all, my mother is here. She's behind me. I didn't get to bring her up here, but my mother is in the building. So shout out to Karen. Yes, I know you're here physically and spiritually. But also with me, the goddesses are on my desk right now. So we got the goddess Maya. She is here. She's here. They all was like, yo, put me on the desk tonight. Like that energy is here. That feminine, that 222. That's why you keep feeling it, because it is here. We got a mother and her child who was like, yo, the first mother, always the ma and the son, like the Masons, the ma and the son. Okay. Then you got Sekhmet, Sekhmet. She's here on her throne. She wanted y'all to say hello. So I just want y'all to know I'm giving you your just due. I don't need you taking my head off, shouty. All right. And then over here, this is the candle I burned from my mother, and it is Basset. And then I put a little candle in here, and I normally burn this for my mother. And this sits on her altar. So she wanted to be here too, And then, of course, we got Hathor, the mother. Yes. We got that energy in here. And then we got Nefertiti, not Nefertiti, Nefertiti. Okay, and she got her little cat like me. I got a couple cats now, y'all. She got her little cat to the side. So all this energy is in the building, y'all. When people come in, and this is in my room, just let y'all know, like all them statues, they live with me. So that energy is I'm always surrounded by feminine energy. Like, honestly, I wake up in the morning to actually Nefertiti looking at me because I have a statue of her, like her head staring at me. So I'm always surrounded by this energy, and it really wanted to come through tonight. And I couldn't have picked anyone else to do this show with tonight, because last time I did it solo dolo, right? But tonight I knew I had to have not just my sister, but my mother's sister. That's what I call her. She's my mother's sister. And I say this because she has this mother energy about her. Like, even we were talking backstage, it was like, I had to drop something on her real quick and just get this confirmation, and it came so clearly. She spoke it, not even knowing that I just needed that from her. I just needed to hear it from her so I could just, people around me that I keep around me is very few. And this beautiful soul right here, I'm so excited just to bring her. I got chills for real. I just got chills. I'm excited to bring her here. I'm not gonna say too much more because I want to, again, we starting late. I know we on a time period and we can talk. So I want to bring her onto the stage. The beautiful, the amazing, the graceful, the unaging It's crazy. She's Benjamin Buttons, y'all. No, I'm joking. It's MaWu Lisa, my sister. You
Not Benjamin Buttons.
ain't the backwards sister.
Oh my gosh. I mean, what do I even say after that? But hey, listen. Thank you so much. And hello, good evening. Peace, peace to everyone. Salam, shalom. All the things. Assalamu alaikum. All the things for everyone. I am so grateful to be here with you celebrating this day. And it is a celebration because the remembrance of your mother, my mother, all of the mothers that have ascended and assist us from the spiritual realm. It's important that we acknowledge them and take time and set it aside, because without them, surely we would not be. So I'm so grateful to be here to celebrate with you tonight.
I really appreciate it. And I feel the energy every time, y'all. Listen, I know I'll be having internet issues, but it's not internet issues, y'all. It's the energy. When the energy shift, I could feel it too. And then my internet start going down. Cause you know, when souls and spirits come in, they pull that energy. And if you don't know that, then you know that's why in the movies they be flickering the lights and stuff, because they pull on energy. So you got to understand when we in here, and there's some powerful energy here tonight. I can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel it. There was no canceling this show. When my stomach started getting bubbly, I was like, okay, I'm gonna just need 1 hour because we gonna do this show tonight. My mom is in the building. Like I can feel her energy. I felt it this morning when I bought her flowers. I felt it when I was with my daughters today. I've been feeling her all around me. And again, she passed around 12 o'clock this afternoon. And I felt it. It felt like it's like a comforting feeling though. It was like almost like a release today. It was like she was telling me, and I know over this last 2 years, y'all, I know that I gained. When people say you didn't lose anybody, you gained an ancestor, baby. The power that my mother has on the other side is so crazy. Y'all, there is another show that if you didn't catch, it was called The Day That I Died. And it was about the day that I actually wanted to actually really not no trigger warning, trigger warning. Let me just say that real quick. But I really was like, that was it. And my mother came through so many channels and reached out to people who was reaching out to me, was like, yo, I normally be meditating and my ancestors are normally here, but your mother showed up. That's powerful. You understand? My mother showed up to say, stop this because you got so much more to do. And this show has a lot to do with what I got to do. So I am honored again to have you, MaWu Lisa, here to share this day with me and to share this experience of us discussing the mother energy. Because again, I don't know, I didn't grow up always with my mom. I left my mom when I was 9, but I grew up around my grandmas and my aunties. So I grew up around women all the time. And that powerful energy that women bring into a space. I want to discuss that tonight. I want to get into how that energy is connected to the bigger energy, because a lot of times people see the nurturing of the mother, and if we see a mother acting a little bit more erratic, we'd be like, yo, she's acting out of character. But is she, or is she pulling on a certain energy that's within all of us, that chaotic energy that is known as divine feminine, and like is needed and necessary. And one of the goddesses that I did not present tonight, and it's so crazy because I normally have her here, and I don't even know where she is because I got lots of statues, y'all. I'm not lying. It's crazy. I had like a crazy upset. I got Yemi Ya, Oshun, all of them. Everybody's here. But Kali. And yes, Kali Ma was like that energy was around me for so peace, peace, peace. Enoch. Let me just say, I need you here. Okay. Um, that energy was around me for so long. That Kali Ma, take your fucking head off energy. And it happened. I want to show you guys something real quick. So if you go back to the first Mother show, I shared with you this post about back in, I think it was 2017, I'm not mistaken, it was 2017 when they projected Kali Ma onto the Empire State Building. Okay. This is not by chance. This is not an accident. That energy is that feminine energy. But if you look at Kali, that energy is chaotic. That energy represents the end of a time. I'm not saying the end of times. People like to say the end of times. But then, if you think about the Bible, you think about any other piece of information, if you take one word out, it changes everything. And it's the end of a time. It's not the end of times, y'all. Time is going to always, things is going to end, continue without us. We die, we keep coming back, we turn into whatever. It's going to always, it's never an end of time, but it's end of an age and the end of a time. And this was a symbolism, again, for that period. And they have to show you. This is the crazy thing about karma and dharma and the things that we don't really tap into, is that they have to give you this information in order for their hands to be clean. They praise the mother. If you don't know that, they praise the mother. I used to have a picture up here, and I don't know if I still have it, of the Pope. And you got to go back to the first show. I had all those pictures up there, but the Pope, he's praying to the Black Madonna. The Black Madonna, this one, how she kind of like over time turned into the white Madonna way after. But before when the sun was down, the sun over her head, you ain't gonna be that color if the sun is just all over your head like that. I'm just saying, if you are, you're gonna be killing and shit. But this was before. And if we're gonna talk about before, got to talk about the started every mother, son, every taste use is mother and son, and it's as the mother being bigger, because it came first. Even if you look at the Kali statue, I wish I had her here right now. If you ever look at the Kali and look at her husband, who is what is his name? Please tell me. I cannot. He slipped my head, and she's standing on him. I cannot remember his name right now, but I will.
You're right.
Yeah, she's standing on him because he came. He's a god, right? But he came to calm her ass down. She was going crazy, right? That's that chaotic female energy and the divine masculine energy. See, people think that the man is actually like the fierce one, right? Like but you got to understand that there's something in that female that can be unleashed. And her husband called upon her. See, she took form from an original form into Kali, and he knew that was within her. But he also knew, as in his divine masculine, how to calm her down. And if you see the picture, she is way bigger than he is. When she's stomping and acting crazy with her tongue hanging out, and you see him underneath her, you can see how much bigger that energy is. And that depiction of her being bigger is not by chance. It's to show you that energy is so big, and that masculine energy was created, was pulled from that feminine energy to assist. It knows how chaotic it can be. That's why he came to calm her down. He knew, like, oh, okay, I'm gonna unleash her. Because if you don't know the story of Kali and why she's there with her tongue hanging out and what's with the heads and hanging, those are demons that kept reproducing themselves when their blood would hit the ground. So you will see her with the bowl. She was catching the blood from the heads of the demons, so it couldn't keep reproducing itself. And because it was reproducing itself, she was just taking off. And then eventually she was just getting crazy with it. She just was like, she was taking off innocent bystander. So somebody had to come and calm her down, and that's that divine mask. It shows the relationship, though. It wasn't like he was like, oh, she crazy out of control. He sent her there. He knew what she was going to do. And he knew what he needed to do to calm her down. Same thing. There's another story similar with Sekhmet. She was sent down by Ra. And she did what she needed to do. Then she got a little bloodthirsty, so he had to put a little wine and it made her think it was blood, and she got a little drunk to calm her down. But it's the same kind of story as in Kali, as in that chaotic female energy that people don't seem to understand. And I bring up that energy because me and my sister were talking backstage, and we were talking about the fact that, there again, I there's a lot of deaths, there's a lot of destruction, there's a lot of destroying going on. And that's what that Kali projection on that Empire State Building was to forewarn you of the destruction, because it was the end of a time. Kali means, I think it means the end of time, or it means the end of time, yeah. And her name, so she represents the end of a time period, and it's the return. Because when something ends, it's just the beginning of another period. Nothing ever really ends, right? Like, even when you get to the end of numbers, you just start all over again. Like, when you get to the 9, 10 is just 1 and 0, right? 1 and the portal, and then you go to 11, 12, but it just starts. So it's the same numbers over again. They just evolve to 20s and 30s and 40s, but it's the same numbers. And so, again, I thought this was a very important day to bring this energy back in, because my mother, Shiva, yes, Marilyn, it was Shiva. Yes, her husband, Shiva. And it was crazy because when I first saw Kali, I was just interested. Why is her tongue hanging out like that? I see Cardi B doing that all the time. What does that mean? And there's so many different depictions of it, but the understanding was that she was kind of embarrassed when she realized what she was doing, and she looked down and she saw Shiva, and she was like, that was her hanging her tongue was in embarrassment of like, oh my God, I got out of control. My husband had to come down, like, I'm stepping on him. Oh my God. When she realized it was him, that was that energy. But when they put her out there, people, when that came out on the, people were so scared. You should have read the comments underneath it, and like, oh my God, this is devil worship. And you know what? She is a Black woman. She is depicted as a Black and not brown. I'm not talking about color in that way. I'm saying she is the darkness. She is the beginning. She is depicted in Black for a reason, because everything came from darkness first. And that's the first mother. She is a version of the first mother. Sekhmet is a version of that. Maya is a version of that. It's that energy, the beginning, that we hide here on the western side of the United States, in the West Coast. And we not Eastern, that's where Kali is. It's Hindu. It's over in that area where they recognize that energy. But over here, we see it as demonic or scary and things like that. And it's not. And I just want you guys to be aware of that. And so, yeah, we having some, see, that's that energy. That's that Kali energy. But yeah, and there's some more pictures I wanted to share, and then I'm gonna let my sister, because I be getting it in sometimes, y'all. But like, even I talked about, again, it's always the mother and the child, right? This is another depiction in a whole nother culture. This is a whole nother culture, and it's always depicted as the mother and the child. And the reason, again, that they tore down so many statues or got rid of so much symbolism, because there was a lot of feminine energy in symbolism. Like, the feminine energy actually is symbolism. It's not the word. Man is the word, the written words, everything that's physical. But like, when you see something, you get to interpret it however you want to. When you write, you say the sky is blue. Now, I see it, I'm going to call it blue. But if you never told me that, I could see whatever the hell I want. Like, it's, you're open. And that's the two. Like, sometimes you need to construct to know that this is man and this is woman, because that's natural law, right? You need to have, but sometimes you need to be able to be open. And to me, that's feminine energy, just to be able to observe. It's like abstract art, where masculine energy to me is more defined and more structured and more like, this is what this is. And sometimes you need that. And that's how they work together. But it's always been about the woman. And it's always been about demonizing her, depicting her as in a negative sense, but not seeing the beauty. They're hiding it. And she's always, look at your hair. Look at your beautiful locks. Look at those locks. You are not Medusa, but you will turn men into stone.
I hope not.
No, but people, you know what? The power, it's the power. That's what it was.
Yeah.
That was, yeah, it's that power. And
That's what it generally represents, is the power, the control, being able to control multiple things, seeing in multiple ways, is just amazing. You were talking about Kali, and she came into my life in a whole other way. She was one of the first goddesses to represent herself, show herself to me. And I remember I had a dream, and I don't dream much. Like, that is not, I'm not a dreamer, but I had a dream that I couldn't move. I couldn't move, and I didn't understand why I couldn't move. So I'm struggling to move. And there was a mirror to the left of me. So when I turned my head and looked to the left, on top of me was this woman who looked just like me, but she had locks and they were like moving like snakes. And I'm looking in the mirror because I don't look like this at this time. But if you look at me now, I look like the version that I saw then. So that was my first introduction. And after that, I got all kinds of images where I would just, I don't know, I was attracted to everything that had to do with learning more about the divine mother, the great mother. Most like everyone else who is aware, when you start to understand that you've been lied to about so many things, like everything, your whole history is a lie.
a lie.
You know what I mean? So you really in essence know nothing, because everything you know is a lie. And that includes you. You don't even know who you are, because you didn't start out with a proper understanding of where you even are.
Nope.
Why you even are.
Nope.
You know what I mean? And I don't know about what your childhood was like, but I was in a very children should be seen and not heard environment. So there was no asking any questions. There was no asking any, well, why do daddy's plate always have more food on it than ours? And why does he always get his food first? Like, you're not asking none of those questions.
Nope.
You know what I mean? You're not asking, why, he's able to have a whole other family down the street. You're not asking this, because you done seen a backhand or two. You done seen a woman weeping or two. You didn't ask any questions. You just fell in line. And so here I am, someone who had been studying for some time, but just not in this space, very much in the patriarchal line of what they would have you study. So when after that dream and I started to pursue everything divine feminine, it was like, oh man, more lies. Like, oh, more lies, more things you just don't know. And you begin to even doubt what it is you're reading there. You've been taught such terrible things about women all your life.
Yep.
And then you find these books that tell you that you were powerful and you are this, and you'd be like, it sounds good, but if I was all that, why is Tom in control of everything? You know what I mean? Like, what is really going on? And it was when I read Monica Sajou's book, The Great Cosmic Mother. When I read that book, I first of all, I wept. I wept like nobody's business. And I got angry. And then I just felt sorry for the world. I'm an Aquarius. I'm a humanitarian.
Yes.
And, I already came into this existence with this feeling that I had to save the world. very much martyr syndrome, just, and being the oldest child and all of these things, and having to take care of my mother before she ascended, it made me feel like I've always had the weight of the world on my shoulders anyway. And when I read that book and I thought about what it was going to take for us to ever get back to our greatness. Now, I'm not talking about, I just want to put this here because, we talk about the patriarchal and the Eurocentric influence on our communities and the things that they think and things like that. I saw a trailer where they said that, if they did a show about slavery where the European was the slave and the black was, the black or the indigenous person was the master, this is what they are afraid of. Well, after reading that book, I realized that no, it is the woman being restored to her proper status.
It's what
is really what has people afraid, and even enemies will work together to keep their power. And so when you see some of our men align themselves with this other toxic stuff that's going on and not honoring our women, it's because they still low-key, subconsciously, I won't even say they do it consciously, cognitive dissonance. We'll give them one. I'm, as a Muslim, we always give somebody an excuse. You know what I mean? You get 100 of those in my book. So, I'll say that when they align with this energy that does not honor mother, because they have one, it does not honor mother. You ask yourself, how can this be? How will we get back to the space that we're supposed to be in? But we know that we're going to get resistance, not only from the men, but from the women who have now aligned themselves with that same kind of energy because they on this pick me kind of thing.
Yes, absolutely.
It's like trying to prove you are enough, but you already are.
Yes.
You already are. And this is not saying women can go into relationships all ragtag and acting all however belligerent and disrespecting and belittling their men, because that's not what women do. You understand what I'm saying? True divine feminine energy is the power behind divine masculinity.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? You mentioned us, being these powerful people. What people don't know is in that my son energy, mother is all law. Mother is all law. The son goes out and enforces the law. That is his job, to enforce the law and to protect and to maintain. That is his job. And so right now where we are, this is not saying that women where we stand now and where we've been forced to be, because I want to put that there. We've been forced into this space of being bad bees, and we got to be the boss, and we got to get the bag, and we got to do, it's so much lost of our divine feminine energy, and we think that we claiming it back by doing that, but we really not.
Nope.
We feeding into the game.
That's the false feminine energy. That's not real feminine energy.
That's the false Messiah.
Even, yes.
You know what? That's the false Messiah.
Yes, that is the
Messiah.
Absolutely.
All of that is the false Messiah. For all these people who love to be in these religious boxes, they talk about the end times, the coming of the Messiah. The Messiah is preceded by the false Messiah.
Absolutely.
This false sense of we free, we ready, we doing all the things. You are setting yourself up for some serious setbacks.
Yes. Because there's natural laws that you are trying to go against all day. And I want to
Do
show
you
this
see? Do you
beautiful
not see
picture.
the water? Do you not see the water drying up all over the world?
Yes, absolutely.
All
Absolutely.
over the world.
All over.
How we surrounded by water, but the water drying up? What? What?
This is a part of that disasters and the things that are going to happen. Listen, the foundation cannot even stand. You understand when you trying to when you have to rebuild something, you can't keep faulty foundation there. So everything is going to look like total destruction. And you know what? When I got that message from the divine feminine, the message to me was to put on my fucking glasses and watch the house burn down. That was the message to me. Was to put the glasses on. You know what you know. Now put your glasses on. Sit back. Hell, get you a damn marshmallow and put it on the end of the stick so you can enjoy it, because it's going to be, there's a changing of guards. There's the swinging of the pendulum. You know, it swung so far to the left that that's why you seeing this false femininity, because they don't know what to do. Like, they've never been shown what real femininity is, and they've never been. And again, I say this because when I put up videos and reels that promote the mother, I do get pushback from masculine. I do. But I also get pushback from feminine energy. And you know what? I said, damn, ladies, it was easy for us to accept a white God in heaven with a beard and everything for so long, saying, Father, Father, Father. Man, if I slip in there and say mother for you, it makes you feel some kind of way. And I'm just trying to, and let me show you guys this quick, because I was telling you guys, we said about the priest, and this is who he's praying to. He's not praying.
Yes.
This is the pictures that he is looking at every day when he's deciding to pray. And he's not going to that little white Jesus with the little wavy hair and stuff. That's not the one he's going to. That's not the picture that he got up in the Catholic Church. In the, what's that thing called? That place, the Vatican. They have this picture right here. This is the actual picture that they have up in the Vatican. And that Madonna, she got some melanin. You know, and it's not about.
I love research. And so, years ago, I tried to raise private funds to go and do some research on our space in different places, in what they call the Middle East and all of these things. But what I found was some interesting stories from France, that talked about how Mary ended up in this region, and this is where the worship of the Black Madonna still is today. They have floors, much like the floors in DC, that have constellations and all kinds of other things. It's so important, again, for people who have been lied to, because now this is really trusting that the history you read and now is true. Because if I gave you something and I said this is the truth, and then you'd be like, no, it's a lie, and I come back and give you another book, be like, this is really the truth now. It's a possibility that I'm lying. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And this is why our intuition and our imagination and our curiosity is so important, because you have to be willing to dig deep. You have to be willing to dig deep, and not only dig deep, you have to be able to find the lies and take out the truth. You know what I mean? My mother used to see everybody can't be lying. You know what I mean? So we have to.
Oh, I think my sister, she'll be back, y'all. She'll be right back. So she's right. And you have to take out the lies. And the crazy part about it is, when sometimes how I think about it is like a cake. Oh, there she is. Okay. So I think of it like like a cake, right? In order for me to get you to eat this shit pie, I gotta put some chocolate in it, right? So I gotta put some truth in there, because you're gonna recognize the truth. Your soul recognizes the truth. That's what pulled us towards church. There's some truth in there, but I'm gonna sprinkle a lot of shit in there, because I don't want you to get feel good. I want you to feel, but you don't know what you're eating. You don't know that this ain't, because your
But
soul
not only,
recognizes
that's a great analogy, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because in order to put some things in, that means you had to pull some things out, and that is where my problem is with these books. Not that they added stuff in, because your adding stuff in is so ridiculous that I can see through that with with blinders on. It's the stuff you took out, and all the stuff you took out had to do with me.
Yes.
So you never wanted me to know who I was. Why is that such a problem for you?
Because again, you are a problem.
Monica Saju's book, like I said, made some of that so clear. And I said, even if her book, and it's a thick one, I said, even if one third of that book was only the truth, it was so relevant to what you are seeing today, and explains so many things, like the mother-son issues. Oh my God, the mother-daughter issues. It is beyond me. It was beyond me, should I say, how we were going to get back to where we could be. And when I thought about this great reset, I was one of the people that was like, oh, the age of Aquarius for real, like
a motherfucker.
I was like, we here for real, this great awakening. If you go back to that picture that you had of the Kali on the Empire State Building, we could have a whole discussion just about symbols, because I love talking about symbology. But if you look at the one over to the side that looks a little pixelated, not the one you have in the front
one in the
view,
middle,
but the back view, if you look at it, do you see that it looks like they gave her two horns with two candles on top?
Yes. Yep. Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Because and if you look, you see nothing of blue in there. You see the blue and the purple and the green is separated from the red, the yellow, the orange, and the black, because the black represents the chaos, the void. You know what I mean? And that third eye over top of that, if you come back to the front picture, that third eye over top of that circle with the little thing on top that looks like Taurus season. That right there said that was letting us know about the fall of the economic system and how that was going to help to start with the Great Reset.
See, y'all see, y'all coming in here, y'all taping this, y'all bookmarking this, because I'm telling you, my sister, go ahead, tell them.
It's like, I remember asking my parents when I was young, because Roots, right? We gonna talk about history a little bit, right? So when Roots first came out, it was on Channel 13 PBS. You had to get a permission slip from your parents to be able to watch it, and all of this stuff like this, right? So I remember seeing this film, and I was like, what in the world is going on? And I remember out of anything I could have asked my parents when I went home, I asked my mother, I said, Mommy, I said, why do they hate Black people so much? Right? That was my question. Innocent child question. As I grew up, of course, you learn you find out the things you find out. But then when I realized how much the woman was hated, in the horrific things that was allowed to be done to women.
Yes.
And how part of all of these organized religions, resurrection or end of the time, revelation time story, all of it have to do with how there'll be more women than men. We are here, people. We've been here. Because what people tend to keep forgetting is we give birth to the men. And again, referring back to Monica Sajou's book, the whole industrial industry was set so they could mimic the actions of mother. They are jealous little children. And I know I'm gonna get backlash from that, but I don't care. See me outside. You know what I mean? See me outside.
Absolutely. And you know what?
It's like, and I'm sorry to cut you off, but it's just like, you know, again, the sad part is I think they don't even know, because we have to be honest, especially our men are not allowed the time to do deep inner speculation. When are they given the time to do that? You know what I mean? When are they given the time to really figure out who they are, why they feel the things that they feel, to examine their childhood, to examine their trauma? Because what we not understanding is when we keep making these babies, we are making trauma children.
Yes.
It's his trauma, your trauma, and whatever's going to happen to this child along the way. We will never get well that way. So we have to be willing to do the hard work. And you know, that's going to require us to accept some criticism.
Yes. It's going to require us to also be real, be real with ourselves, with our emotions, with how we feel when we react to when we hear this shit. Because see, it's not easy to digest new information for some people. For me, it is. I'm not gonna lie. I just
trust
like
issues. We got trust issues.
Yes, that's it. And there's a good reason for that. And that's why I try to tell, us healers, we got to be patient with when we opening these doors, to understand that not everybody's going to be willing to walk through that door immediately, because it's scary. Like if your whole life have only known this one thing, and I'm presenting something totally opposite to what you've known for your whole life, you feel like you've navigated pretty well knowing this one thing. Why would I want to be open to this new thing? What if this just takes me into, and believe me, consciousness will spiral you into chaos. It will, because now you feel lonely, you feel like nobody else is going. It's a lot that comes with it.
Well, let's not forget the taboos connected to everything we trying to share.
Exactly. Oh, absolutely.
There's so many taboos about women. Our very menstrual cycle sends some men screaming to the next, dimension. I'm just like, bro, grow up.
I'm glad you brought up menstrual cycle. Okay, I'm just gonna say this real quick, because I know we grown up in here, right? Let me tell you something that's really powerful about women. Just tell you something that's really fucking powerful that makes you understand why I can't fall for the bull anymore. In any type, and don't click off if you're scared of the word magic. Lord, please don't be afraid of the word magic. And some people, you hear it, they be like, boom, boom. You see the eyes, it go from 20 people watching to 2 people watching, because they be like, oh shit, she's starting to play that dang on. She's talking about. Listen, there's magic in everything, but there is a lot of magic in blood. You understand? That's why you're drinking the fake blood when you're going to the church, and even emulating blood, there's power in that. But there's real power in blood. And women are the only creatures that don't have to cut themselves to bleed, meaning that they can work with certain blood within themselves without having to sacrifice anything of themselves. Why? Because it's powerful. Everything that you've been taught to fear is because it could possibly make you more powerful. I would tell you, don't learn this. If I knew that learning that would make you trump over top of me, nobody wants you to be better than them. Nobody. And especially not anybody who considers you an enemy. So to when you hear, and it's not, this awakening has been taken over by, again, media and all this, calling woke. Democrats are, the left wing is woke in this. I'm like, what the fuck that got to do it. What the real awakening.
Oh
Don't
my God.
fall for it, because mother will not be compromised. And this is the message that she really wants me to get out there. There will be no compromising in this energy. It will not go away. It will not shrink back. It will not go where it came from. This energy will not stop. And so if you're not on the same wavelength, the thing about waves, right? We're all a part of this ocean, but not all of the ocean is going to come up at the same time. And sometimes you got to go back down into the ocean. You may not be ready right now. And that energy don't got time to be. See, we had lots of time to get used to this. 2012 is when the transition started it. You know, it all kind of started like in 2012. And we've been getting time. We had time to get used to it. It's gradually been coming in, but a lot of people been still wanting to stay in that comfort zone. And when you don't step outside of that and start opening up your mind, you're going to get left behind. And it's not just the third dimension. And this is the part where, trigger warning, if you're sensitive, this may not be for you. But that energy is about destruction. It's about relieving this space of anything that does not vibrate at the same level. Meaning, you may not be there now, right? You may not understand all of this right now, but you got to be at least open to it, or you're not gonna make it. And I'm not saying that to scare nobody, but that energy is, when I show you Kali, when I show you Kali, this representation is a representation of exactly what I'm saying. There is no time. It's sacrifice. It's, oh, you're not with it. Oh, well, you see that face? It's a, oh, well, face. If you don't see her face, oh, well, you see that hand out? That hand say, I don't give a shit.
You know what? We're gonna have to take a day. We're gonna have to take a day and do some symbology talk, because it's a lot more to that.
It's definitely a lot more to that.
You know, that's a story. You know, I don't want to lose what you were saying about the blood. You know, when people talk about, you know, organized religion, things like that, you'll know that you can't even go into, you know, certain religious places without, I mean, when you are on your menstrual cycle, you
absolutely
supposed to be at the masjid. You're not supposed to be in the synagogue.
Okay. Wait a minute. Hold on one second. Sis, I can't hear you. Can you guys hear her? Just let me know if you can hear her, and maybe it's me. Yeah, it might be me. Y'all here. I know y'all in the building. I see y'all. Can you hear me? I just want to make sure y'all not missing the message. Oh, you can't hear her. You can hear me though, right? Because if you couldn't, you wouldn't be answering me. Oh, I'm a goof troop sometimes. I can hear you without MaWu. Okay, yep, we can hear you now.
See, you know what that was, right? That
was chewing too much.
What? My mother was like, shut up.
Don't give them too much. Don't give them too much. But you know what? No, go. We need this. And
you know,
go ahead.
You know, I'll just say that fear is the greatest tool that is used against us. And because we've been lied to our whole lives and we don't know who we are, where we came from, where we going, you know, none of that stuff, you know, it's easy to take a people like that and isolate them and create fear in them, or, you know, do these mass attempts to bring chaos between people, you know, because right now this whole man woman argument stuff, I'm like, if y'all dare go back there with everything that's going on right now, you deserve whatever's coming. You know what I mean? Like, real talk. But what I would encourage people to do is to be willing to have these discussions.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about some of these things, you know, from a different space. You know, stop, you know, we think we know so much because we done read a book or two. You know, you really don't know. It's going to take the conversations to really draw out what it is.
And that's why so many of us have so many different perspectives, because we're supposed to come together. And I definitely don't know everything. As I learn from others around me more than I learned from a book. Because the other thing about it is that meditation, you got to, like you said, go back into intuition, because you already know a lot. You just got to remember what you already know. And a lot of times we don't even realize that the messages and the information is within us. I wanted to show you guys something real quick. When I said that Kali was also like considered like the end of time, here is a picture. You know, everybody was talking about the end of the world, right? Remember? And I just spoke about 2012 and we talked about the end of times. And here's a picture I would like to show you. I'm going to add my sister back. And you see the Mayan calendar, right? And what does it look like his tongue is doing? Hanging out his damn mouth. Again, Kali represents the end. And remember, everybody saw the Mayan calendar says the world was going to end in 2012, or was it 2020? I don't even know no more. Okay. But guess what? It was the end of a time, not the end of time, because there was the pendulum swings. It continuously swings. But for so long, it was just being held. And if you ever had a pendulum and you hold it back, you let it go, it's going to swing all the way over here, all the way to the left for a while. And that's that feminine energy that you see right now coming in. And eventually it's going to go back to the middle. But the middle is the understanding that the divine masculine and the divine feminine are one. The masculine comes from the feminine. The feminine is the first energy. All energy is feminine first. Just like all babies are female first. There's a reason for that, though. It's to remind. It's just like a reminder. Like, okay, you know, they're gonna be. Nature will remind you of some shit. Nature will show you what man will try to hide from you. And just think about that. Like a baby, it takes a minute for, and then even when they come out, they have breast, right? That's a reflection of the mother energy. That's that mother. They don't work, but that's if you're gonna say I was made in an image, if you was made in the image, then that image is the mother. Even the sons look like the mothers. They got the boobies. and they may not function, they may not carry milk, but it's just a reflection of her. You are a part of her. And I just don't understand, again, how we can be so easily accepting of one way, but if somebody comes to you with some other information, you're like, nah, dog, that just don't sound right. But nature will show you. Nature will show you.
Well, you have to remember, we've been taught not to think. You've been taught not to see. You've been taught not to hear. And this is why in all of those books, they talk about those with eyes to see and ears to hear. That's not everybody.
You are right.
You know what I mean? That's not everybody.
See? Those with. Not everybody got them joints. You right.
That's not everybody. And then to do with it.
Yes. Yep. And that's a reason why I believe that a lot of information not only was not just destroyed, but it was hidden. And I listen, this podcast, I believe, pulls in a lot of star seeds, meaning that a lot of people who need to hear this will hear this. However, it's not for everybody. So everybody's not going to be here. And not everybody needs the information. You know what I'm saying? Like, not everybody, because some people are just, they're not going to accept it regardless. It don't matter who it comes from, because it's just been so ingrained in them. And that's okay. You can't force it. I stopped trying to force people to just open their eyes. It's just it's like trying to wake somebody. If somebody try to wake you and you're not ready to be woke up, you're gonna wake up angry. You're gonna wake up disturbed. You're gonna wake up not willing to hear what they got to say. So you can't force this information. But if you are hearing this right now, and you've never even done the research, or you never thought about it, or you never really, this is the time to really just dig a little deeper. I also talked about the sun, you know, uh, heavy on the first mother sh- show. I talked about the sun. I'm going to show you a picture of the female sun god. Her name is Ratawi. Let me see that up. The internet is going crazy, but I appreciate y'all sticking it out. Hold on one second. So this is the female sun god, right? Nobody ever talks about that. And every 26,000 years, I'm going to repeat that, we get a new sun. Did y'all hear that? Every 26,000 years, we get a new sun. And guess what that means, though? It's not necessarily a new sun. I'm adding my sister back, but it's the changing of the guards. It's the feminine energy. And so you had a masculine sun for 26,000 years. The transition started in 2012. And we got the news. Everybody, they got these commercials where they're taking out the sun and putting in the new sun. It's symbolism. They're showing you. They're not able to take the sun out the sky. I don't know why people they took the sun out and they put a new sun up there. No, there was a transition in suns. If you don't know that, I'm trying to tell you, there is a sun goddess. And there's a god. For every god, there is a goddess. There is a correspondence. Because just like there's the sun, there's the moon. There's an equal opposite for everything. And so again, this is Tawi. This is the sun goddess, Re. It's like the sun Re. So you have Ra and Re. And this is the sun that we are under. When people be like, man, it's hot outside. This is a new sun. This sun burning me up. It is a new sun. It is the feminine energy. And energy is projected down to us through the sun. That's why it's important for us to go outside and get sunlight. So even the sun energy has changed up a bit. And again, you can look her up. It's RAET-TAWY. Every time I bring my sister back, I'm telling you, they trying to mess with this energy. And there's a lot of energy in this building right now. A lot of feminine energy. I'm gonna try to put, sis, you give me the thumbs up when you ready to go. She's like, I don't know. It's just doing that. Just because, man. Look, they like, y'all doing too much. Y'all talking too much.
Look, we saying too many things.
Too many things.
Oh man, can I just say that's kind of funny, actually. It's actually kind of funny because we in this first day of communication, we just finished Mercury retrograde. Yes. So it's actually kind of funny, but you said all relevant things and the opposites and the new sun. I remember the first day I felt the new sun. It was definitely hotter. It was definitely hotter. But I will tell you that.
Oh, we lost her again. See, this is that energy. It's the energy. Stick with us, y'all. We gonna get this message out, and I'm glad y'all been tapping in tonight. I see y'all active in the comments. I'm gonna go read Marilyn's comment real quick. Marilyn said here, my ancestor history. I am French descendant, living in Canada. Oh, you might be family. You might be my cousin. Are you my cousin, Marilyn? Okay. And young French girls and women ancestors were taken from their families, put on boats for men's pleasure. They were selected for their beauty, youth, as servants for the old dirty lords crossing over. God knows what they went through. Women have been so broken all over the world and still are so sad. So true. So true, Marilyn. That energy, again, that feminine energy is powerful, and there's a reason that there is a movement to suppress it. You understand? Like, I even recall when I was in church, and y'all, I was a go hard Christian. If you are, we are heart cousins, girl. Yeah. So my grandmother is French Canadian. A lot of my family is still in Canada, so that's why I said that. Like, yo, you might actually my father's side, so yeah, you might actually be my cousin. But yes, that energy has been suppressed for so long, and there's a reason for it. There's always a reason that things are being pushed down. But I remember even when I was like heavy into church, when I read there will be anonymity between your children and their children, and he was speaking to the woman supposedly in there, speaking specifically to her. And I believe that there is an issue now where we have to really come back together and understand that by saying that this energy came first, it's not to say that the energy that came second is any less. If that's the case, that would mean that the whole time that we were praising this masculine energy, that by saying that the feminine energy came second, that it was something less. And I don't believe that that was the case in at all. So to be able to flip it and understand that if you put the head and the neck where it belongs, the body will walk straight. And we've been walking so crooked lately. And we've been walking so crooked for a long time because we have not acknowledged the mother. We have not given her her rightful place. We have not put her in her rightful place. We have always acknowledged the father. And I'm not saying that there's no place for him. If there was none, he would not be here. But the mother energy, that energy is always going to be the first energy. When you come out, before somebody told you what God was, when you looked up, that person was your mother who was giving you, when you were suckling the bosoms, that was your mother. Before someone gave you a definition of what God was, the first God you saw was your mother. The first voice you heard, even before you were born, was your mother. I'm going to add my sister back. Hope everything works out. Let's see.
Oh my God, I have to apologize for my mountain internet. It just be doing what they want to do. Listen.
My sister said her internet be interneting. Okay.
What? And the power of all of this, when we used to do radio together, we would have these same problems.
Yeah.
And I wasn't even this deep in the mountains,
Right. See?
So it's a power thing, and we have to realize everything is energy. You know what I mean? So we just are dealing with that. But this great goddess energy that is back, if I had to recommend something that women could begin to do, and I do want to acknowledge that sister who you read about her ancestors being put on the boats, if we could, you want to get hot, we can have a topic, we can have a day when we discuss what is going on with women and little girls and little boys going missing, because that is still going on. Yes. That is still going on, that mistreatment and that disregard, you know what I mean, for another human life. But for those who are into history and like it to know the foundation of things, one of the books I want to recommend is this Jean Markel book called The Great Goddess.
Yes.
And because it, one of the things I love about this is the goddess Venus that's on front. Okay. And the reason why that's kind of important to me is because when we talk about the image of woman today, we're getting back to a place where body shaming and all of this stuff is taking a back seat, and people are beginning to love themselves in the bodies that they're in. But I always found it interesting that goddesses and beloved statues was in this image. Her breasts were hanging down to almost her navel. She had this large middle. Yes. And she had but what I noticed, the knock knees. because it was the knock knees for me. And I was just like, this is one of the most beautiful, one of them. See, I told you details. I'm a detail person. But it was like, this book really helped me to understand more of what Monica was talking about in that other book about the history of the repression of goddess worship.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because we like I have a neighbor who's in Ireland right now. And I was telling them about the goddess worship in Ireland. And she was like, no, da da da. And then she did search and found not only did they worship the goddess, but she was a black goddess. And that really, that, kind of, made her feel a little bit of a way. But
right.
It's like, and it's like we are so indoctrinated, brainwashed. We not even brainwashed, brain filled, brain filled with all of this stuff that is so negative to us. We have to start to clean this stuff out with some foundational kind of stuff, and actually be willing to do the research. We cannot just keep taking other people's word for stuff.
Yes,
that's part of the problem.
Yo, a lot of people go to church and they will listen to the preacher, but never pick up a Bible and read it for themselves. And so you'll get an interpretation of somebody else's words.
Well, that's not, let's just say that's not just the church that's everywhere. It's, a deeper work. And I truly.
Oh, okay. See, y'all, she up in the mountains. Let me just say, my sister is in the mountains. She will be back with us. Y'all know we in and out on this stream because the energy is so strong. But yes, it is everywhere. And a lot of people will listen, but they won't do their own research. My sister put up a book, and this is another one I was reading. This is one I got into. It's called The Great Mother. And it talks about the different archetypes of the mother energy, that goddess energy. Yep, it's an analysis of the archetype, and it talks about it. Like, they talk about the negative connotations, the negative information around the mother. They talk about the character of the feminine energy. They talk about everything in here. And it's so crazy because, like she said, we'll read one book and think we know everything, but there's so many other books and there's so much other information out there. All you got to do is do the research. I will reference you to Dr. Dilbert Blair. Let me put his name in the chat. I will put it in the comments, but his name is Dr. Dilbert Blair. And he was one of the first master teachers that I ever listened to, ever. And I credit him with waking me up out of my days of, and yeah, thank you. Dr. Dilbert Blair was, again, one of the first master teachers. You can catch him. You can see some of his videos on YouTube. He is no longer with us, but he also talks about the energy, and he talks about the woman being the first and how different animals used to procreate. Am I frozen? Am I frozen, y'all? Y'all don't see me? But I hope y'all can hear me. So look him up. His name is Dr. Dilbert Blair. If you listen to Dr. Phil Valentine, they usually around. They like brothers. I love both of them. But Dr. Dilbert Blair was my first teacher, and he talks about this energy. He talks about the Black woman, and he talks about who we are, and he talks about humans, human, man, woman. He gets into it. So when I say that if you want some real information, like get deep into it, that was my first Like that was my first opening up. And once he opened me up, then I met MaWu Lisa and all the rest of these folks who were just really opening me up to some things. So I'm glad. Okay, y'all can see me good. I'm gonna add my sister back. Let's see. Ooh, let's see if it holds. Oh, and I see. There you are. It's all good. It's all good. You know what? We knew it was gonna be some stuff tonight. We knew it. We knew it.
I have no idea. No
okay.
idea.
Oh, as soon as my sister come on, see that energy just won't let us be great tonight. It will not let us be great, but we still gonna be great. Look at her. There she is. Love and light to you too, LJ.
Maybe that's telling us that we done did enough. You know what
right,
I mean?
we done gave y'all too much for this show. We got to stop right now. Yep, that's what it is. Look, my sister got stuck with that energy. It might be that. It might be that time because we are going on 1 hour and 26 minutes. So what I'm going to do is bring my sister back. I'm going to let her tell y'all real quick where y'all can find her. Please talk to the people. And then we
I got to talk fast before my internet on me again. No, you can always find me on Instagram at MaWu Lisa Temple 1. Or you can email me at mawulisatemple@gmail.com. I'm always down for a great conversation, not just about this topic, but we talk about a bunch of things. Roxy and I have we've been around together for a long time, and we have quite a closet of things we could talk about.
And we won't be having her back here, y'all. She will be back on the show. We'll be talking about all kinds of stuff. This is just. I'm definitely gonna have you on for the next mother show because we gotta keep going. Oh, I shouldn't have interrupted. She got stuck, y'all. This is my fault. I can't stop talking. I knew better, y'all. I knew better. She'll be back. There she is. I gotta shut up. Let you get your shit in. Let me be quiet. Okay.
Oh my gosh. You know what? It is just so funny to me. And I'm so grateful again to be sharing this day with you. We miss our moms. They are our first teachers, our first loves, our first everything. And I saw a clip from Queen Afua earlier today. And my oldest daughter will be 37 on the 1st of June. And I remember when Queen Afua gave her a book and she told her about, healing that mother wound. You know what I mean? And, if you ever want some really serious work on healing that mother wound, I would recommend Queen Afua's work. She is a master sister, a master mother. Absolutely. And
damn it, Roxy. As soon as you said something, it went out. Did you? Yes, LJ, Dr. Dilbert Blair. I thought I put it in, but I didn't. But appreciate you. Yes, go ahead.
But but I was saying that Queen Afua talked about that mother wound and how, when you begin to heal that mother wound, you are able to start to release other things. And this is that.
Man, my sister, she's living a good life up in the mountains. But I tell you, that internet ain't no joke. She be back.
I want to make my public apology now. This is so insane.
That's okay. It's our energy. It's the energy, y'all. It's the energy. She can only come on for like 2 seconds, and it's gonna take her around. Thank you so much, Marilyn. Thank you so much for sending love to my mom. Yes, this is the day of her death anniversary. So yes. Okay, she's back. Yes.
Oh my goodness, I said I want to make my public apology now because my internet is just making me giggle because it's so crazy right now. But definitely healing these wounds, healing these mother wounds will help us to start getting back to where we need to be.
Absolutely. You guys, thank you all for tapping in tonight. I'm going to go through some of the comments. MaWu, if you get stuck and you freeze, it's okay. I'm going to play some music videos, y'all. And then y'all can stick around for a little while and play a little music I want y'all to hear. I think that's really dope. See, there she goes. Ah! Listen, we're gonna have to come and do this in person. Yep, that's what it is. That's what it's telling us. We got to do this in person. So we're gonna make it happen.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, sis, for being in the building tonight. I love
Thank
you
you for
so much.
having me. Thank
Thank
you
you
for
for sharing your
having me.
space. Yes.
And if anybody would like any of those references, please let them know that they can either refer back to this video and all your videos that you had these topics on, because some great resources are there for those seeking to know a little bit more. Because as we begin to find out more about not only the women who came before us, the women who paved the way, is important to understand as well, because that will also help you understand the repression and the fight we're going to have on our hands. Because the one thing about this, things may be changing, but they're not going to go easy.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to go easily. They are not going to let go of their power easily. And it's just it's sad, but they're afraid, and we have to remember that part.
And guess what? You gotta be careful when people will be afraid, because an afraid person will do anything. So you just gotta, yes. So be prepared. That's why we gotta prepare ourselves with knowledge of who we are. Because once you know who you are, man, they can try to do whatever they want, but you can't stop the energy. You can't stop.
The thing I was saying about that mother wound thing is that as we heal our mother wounds, we'll be able to unite more as women. That's where the strength is going to come.
I love that. Yes, we do need to heal that wound. Yeah, we got to get into that mother wound. I think that's going to be the next show. That's it, MaWu Lisa. That's us. We're going to talk about that in the next mother show, healing the mother wound. She has gotten stuck again, so I'm going to let my sister go for now. Oh, there she is. Wait a minute. She's back. She's back. Here she go.
You want to know what? That's how you know it's important, because they don't want me to say that part.
Mm-hmm. And it is important. And I think we need to do that. So the next mother show, we're going to focus on that, healing the mother wound. Yes. See, as soon as she say it, she gets stuck. Yes. Thank you for the message and sharing your knowledge. Healing comes in all forms. Absolutely. Yo, thank you all for sticking in with us. Let me see if my sister got, all right. Get your last message in. You got anything else?
I was just gonna say, that's how you know it's important that we come together as women and with our wounds healed or working on them, because this is the only way we're going to get ahead. Because again, we make man and woman, and if we keep creating bringing these souls through with the same trauma, we are never going to get anywhere. And this is the time to basically do spring cleaning. We're gonna clean the whole earth will be clean.
Yep,
you know what I mean?
And that's what I'm talking about.
It's going to take some work though, because again, Kalimot, creator, destroyer. But again, Mother Nature has to do her part.
Absolutely.
And that means we need to be prepared.
Absolutely. And that's what we're here to do. Help you guys get prepared, help ourselves be prepared, and just meet us back here on Pronoia. So, that's my sister, MaWu Lisa. Thank you again, sis, for being here. I love you. Normally, we'll just stick around a while, but I know that her internet going to go out again on us in about 2 seconds.
Yes.
Thank you, sister. I appreciate you. And I will be sending you a message on IG in a little bit. I love you. All right, y'all. That was MaWu Lisa. Thank you again for joining us on Pronoia Star Seed Podcast. Y'all, listen. I see y'all in the comments. I appreciate you being here tonight. Tonight was so special. Again, 2 years ago today, I lost my mother. And I know I'm grown, and this shit still hurts. So if you've ever lost your mother, I'm sending you my whole heart right now, because I understand that you lost the first God that you knew. You lost your first portal, but understand that you gained a very powerful ancestor on the other side. And always remember that the universe is working in your favor. Now, I am going to replay Oh, hey, Rainwater. I like your name, Rainwater. And peace and blessings again to everybody in the building. I see y'all here. Happy to have caught this portion of this one. Sending you hugs. Thank you, LaShawn. I love you. We got to get up. And again, shout out to the CSA family, my friends Fode, who passed away recently. You are in my heart, and I know you are a very strong ancestor on the other side. I'm sending love and light to everyone. You know, this is Pronoia Star Seed Podcast, and the universe is always working in your favor. Thank y'all for being in the building tonight. Make sure you like, love, and share. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast so you know when we're going live. What is today? Today is Sunday. So I am back here on Tuesday. And guess what? Persia Red. That's right. Persia Red will be in the building. We were doing readings, and she is an intuitive reader. Normally, Persia does not pull out cards. So if you're ready and you need some insight, make sure you meet us back here on Tuesday for Tarot Tuesdays. Thursday, I have Imari X coming in the building. I think I have a show on Friday. I for sure have a show on Sunday. And I'm going to New York, so I'm doing a lot. But I love y'all. And I want to leave with this song. I was going to play this video, but I changed my mind. You're going to see a little banner of me, but listen to the music, listen to the words. This song is called First Mother. It's by Ciroc. I tried to play it earlier. Hopefully it don't start in the middle, but if it does, it still starts over. So I love y'all. Love and light, peace and blessings. Know the universe is always working in your favor. This is Pronoia Star Seed Podcast, y'all, and I love you. Have a great, amazing evening and a great week ahead.
Asase a mponenwa awo die mu a wo san maya adamedie me bewu a medanwo meti ase a medanwo dre damidi factory.
I am the earth and water, I am the full moon, I am the first mother, the universal womb. They call me sacred lotus, wisdom of the can supreme, the mothership that brought the first terrestrial being. I come from distant planets, and now I have returned. I am the great goddess come to you in human form. Mysterious by nature, I hold my magic wand, cast my cowrie shells and read them in the dirt I stand on. My power is electric, you feel it in my gaze. I will live on when others perish in the end of days. They call it immortal, I move through space portals. My body turns to dust, I traded for a better model. I am the shrine keeper, civilization teacher. I am the sun's reflection and the divine receiver. I birthed the last giants, now called the juggernauts. When I designed the trees, I made the roots from my Nazi locks. I am the fertile ground, and I am heaven's skies. I'm made of dark matter and full of pure light. I'm just a tiny proton inside the smallest atom. I am a black hole pulling stars inside my chasm. You think you know me, but my name eludes you well. I am your consciousness, and I'm your dream spell. I am but all things, yet I am none at all. Enemies fear me, but mostly they just respect and awe.
Something, as we say, I'm compelled by a spiritual force that I cannot resist.
Besides Niyashe Kankifa Badashe, which means a spiritual force that I cannot resist.
I am the earth and water, I am the full moon, I am the first mother, the universal womb. They call me sacred lotus, wisdom of the kind supreme, the mothership that brought the first terrestrial being. I come from distant planets, and now I have returned. I am the great goddess come to you in human form. Mysterious by nature, I hold my magic wand, cast my cowrie shells and read them in the dirt I stand on. My power is electric, you feel it in my gaze. I will live on when others perish in the end of days. They call it immortal, I move through space portals. My body turns to dust, I traded for a better model. I am the shrine keeper, civilization teacher. I am the sun's reflection and the divine receiver. I birthed the last giants, now called the juggernauts. When I designed the trees, I made the roots from my Nazi locks. I am the fertile ground, and I am heaven's skies. I'm made of dark matter and full of pure light. I'm just a tiny proton inside the smallest atom. I am a
black hole
pulling stars inside my chasm. You think you know me, but my name eludes you well. I am your consciousness, and I'm your dream spell. I am but all things, yet I am none at all. Enemies fear me, but mostly they they just respect it all.
They always thought Africa was something dark and mysterious because of lack of knowledge. If you want to go to Africa, go back to Africa. You know, all those kind of negative things that try to make you really feel bad, but, you know, it just shows their own ignorance. Because I feel good about my Africanism.
You are listening to Chakra Music.
I'm the sun, you the moon, and the light reflect.
I'm trapped in the language that I think in. Yoruba should probably be what I'm speaking.
I am intentional. I am the sun. I am original. I am the one.